What's up everyone, my name is Trevor and I am the Gaming Goomba. I have a legitimate question for you guys. What is one thing that is better than playing video games? Well, it's playing video games and getting free stuff. What are you, stupid? Club Nintendo. It was a reward service created by Nintendo, launched in North America on October 2nd, 2008. The basic concept of the service was this. You would buy a new Nintendo game or console, snag one of those Club Nintendo codes out of the box, punch in the code on the Club Nintendo website, do a couple of surveys, and then boom, you are now the proud owner of Grill Off with Ultra Hand, you lucky dog. In all seriousness, the service was really cool, and it was a staple of my childhood. I even remember how I discovered it. My buddy Nate had these really cool Nintendo-themed folders, and of course, being the gigantic Nintendo nerd that I was, I asked him where he got them. He then explained to me the wonders of Club Nintendo, the site where you could exchange your plastic for more plastic. My eyes immediately lit up. I thought about all of the countless Nintendo games I had at home that could potentially have that coveted Club Nintendo slip inside of its case. So that day when I got home, it was a mad chase for every single Club Nintendo code in my house that I could get my grubby little hands on. Super Smash Bros. Brawl, Wii Play, Super Mario Galaxy, and any and every DS game I had in my collection. This weird Professor Layton game that my grandma gave me has a code in it? I'll take it. After putting all these codes in, all of a sudden I was Club Nintendo rich. I felt like I was on top of the world, but I wanted more. I gathered up every single Nintendo product in the house, my Game Boy SP, my N64, even that one random Super Nintendo game I had in my dresser for some reason. I knew these didn't have codes, but punching in their serial numbers had to give me something, right? Right? At this point, I had driven myself insane, so much so that I even committed a crime. That's right, little 10-year-old Trevor committed theft. Just look at the crazed look in his eyes. Everyone should have known this was coming. Next thing I knew, I blacked out. When I came to, I was in my little sister's room with a handful of Club Nintendo codes. My little sister didn't know what Club Nintendo was. She would never know. I wasn't hurting anyone. These are the words of an addict. So I had finally gathered up every possible Club Nintendo code that I could. So what purchase did I make with my newfound Club Nintendo riches? A Wii remote holder. Yeah, I don't really know why this was my go-to purchase. I sort of remember hyping it up in my head, and for some reason I thought it was going to be this huge thing. I even told my dad to expect a 2-foot-tall box coming in the mail, and to be careful, because it might be glass, because for some reason I thought Nintendo was going to send me a glass Wii remote holder. So you could probably imagine my dismay when a little small yellow envelope came in the mail with my name on it. Yeah, this thing was made with fake leather, fabric, and a piece of cardboard that you put in the bottom to actually expand it out to its full 6 inches of glory. You'd think after being disappointed by my first Club Nintendo prize that I would have been turned off from the service. But I think you guys forget how huge of a Nintendo fan I was and still am. So what was my next purchase? A set of Bowser-themed folders. You know, I'm starting to think the service wasn't as cool as I remember it being. Maybe I was just a dumb and impatient kid who couldn't wait to save up his coins for the cool stuff and instead would have rather had the small stuff right then and there. So let's take a look at some of the rewards the website offered over the years. You had your basics, DS game card cases, which I have one of them right here. You could get some classic Nintendo Hanafuda cards with a Mario theme. That's pretty cool. These aren't the Club Nintendo cards, but they are almost exactly the same. Nintendo still sells these cards to this day. Pretty cool. They even offered some physical exclusive games, even though they were mostly just Game & Watch games. They even made a reproduction of the original Game & Watch ball. God, I wish I would have saved up my coins for that. The service also had its share of lame stuff like greeting cards, shoelaces, and these little fabric pouches Nintendo tried to pass off as a DS cave. Please, someone put their DS on one of these bad boys and drop it down some stairs, and let me know how it goes. The website also had some pretty cool posters, but one of the coolest in my opinion was the giant AR card. Like, come on, you could take pictures with Mario. How cool is that? Pretty sure I had this Donkey Kong notebook at some point too, but who cares really, it's a notebook. One of the other things I remember having was this Mario Japanese folding fan. I really wish I was better at keeping up with my stuff when I was younger, because that was actually pretty cool. As time went on, Nintendo started putting less and less effort into Club Nintendo, and it was becoming pretty obvious that the end was near. It also did not help that you had assholes going into GameStop and ransacking the used games for Club Nintendo codes, defeating the purpose of the website to begin with. One of the last things I remember getting from the website is probably one of the coolest rewards I got and still have it unopened, the Super Smash Bros. For Wii U and 3DS soundtrack. This was actually pretty cool. If you purchased the 3DS and the Wii U version of Super Smash Bros. 4 within about 3 months of release, you could punch in your codes on Club Nintendo and get this free soundtrack CD. Unfortunately, this was one of the last truly cool items Nintendo offered through the service. But of course, we can't wrap things up without talking about the coolest part of the service, the Platinum and Gold rewards offered at the end of every year. If you amassed 300 coins over the course of a year, you would reach Gold status, which usually meant a calendar or something whoop-de-freaking do. But if you reached 600 coins, you would reach Platinum status, and this is where things got really cool. At the conclusion of its first year, Nintendo offered 2 rewards for Platinum members, the first being a Club Nintendo exclusive game, Doc Lewis's Punch-Out! This was a cool concept. It wasn't a huge game by any means, but just the fact that you could get a game on your Wii that no one else could play was mind-blowing. And Nintendo to this day still hasn't made it available for purchase. That is commitment right there. The physical item for that year set the standard for Platinum reward gifts, that being a real-life Mario hat, not a standard baseball cap with an imprint on the front of it. This looked like it came straight out of the video games, and I really wish I reached Platinum status that year. The Platinum reward that came out the next year was probably the coolest of all, and I'm not just saying that because I happen to have one, but I also have a pretty cool story to go along with it. This was my first Platinum reward, so as you could imagine, I was pretty excited about it. The day after it was shipped, I somehow managed to convince my parents that I was sick for an entire week because I wanted to be home when the package arrived. Oh my god. I'm a nerd! Every single day for a week, I would sit in my bedroom glued to my window waiting for the mail truck to arrive. But alas, my package never came. I eventually had to go back to school and hope to God I would get home before the mail truck every day. Finally, the day it was supposed to arrive, I didn't receive my package. I instead received a slip that said, "Sorry we missed you." My heart sank to my stomach. I had to fill out that slip telling my mail carrier that it was okay for them to leave my package on the front door. Finally, a week later, I received my figurine and it was glorious. Even the packaging was cool. It came in a real-life question mark box. I just love the attention to detail on this thing. The bricks that Bowser is standing on, the fact that his hand is hovering over Princess Peach like he's about to abduct her yet again. And look, they even put me on the figurine coming out of a pipe. How cool is that? The next year, Nintendo offered a poster set or playing cards. Definitely not as cool as the last couple of years, but I'll take it. I ended up going with a poster set, which I don't actually have anymore, but I do have a picture to prove it to you. I'm just gonna go ahead and apologize to the entire Nintendo community for subjecting anyone to this photo. Wait a minute, is that my Wii remote holder too? Huh, really wish I kept up with my stuff. The next year we had another set of posters and a Majora's Mask soundtrack, another one of the cooler prizes. Unfortunately, 2013 was the last year Nintendo would offer physical prizes for Gold and Platinum status. In its last year, Nintendo decided to offer downloadable games to its members for reaching Gold and Platinum status. And they were pretty awful. Game & Wario, Dr. Luigi. I buy $600 worth of Nintendo stuff in a year and the best you can do for me is Dr. Luigi, Nintendo? On March 31st, 2015, Club Nintendo closed its doors. Nintendo did decide to offer a bunch of digital games so people had something to spend their coins on. That was pretty nice of them. Although I will always remember this service fondly, it does suck that it had to go out on such a low note. But fear not, Nintendo announced that there would be a replacement for Club Nintendo, titled My Nintendo. I knew it! I knew Nintendo wouldn't let such a great idea like this go to waste. Let's go check it out. For 100 Platinum coins, you can get a 7-day free trial of Nintendo Switch Online, which you can already get for free. What the f***?